Hello, vacation lovers, group tour planners, Chicago Southland residents, and anybody that's just a fan of tourism. I'd like to welcome you to the Visit Chicago Southland podcast, where boring doesn't exist. We really want this to be your podcast, where we here at Visit Chicago Southland cater to your interests. So, with that being said, please subscribe, comment, reach out to us with your questions. We hope to answer them both in our episodes and in the comments section. You can find our contact information on the screen or in the podcast description below as well. We here at Visit Chicago Southland know how special this place is, and we just want you to experience it as well. Welcome back to the Visit Chicago Southland podcast. I'm your host, Liam Doyle, and today I'm here with the special guest, Jay Nadler, president of the WillCountyFair Association. Jay, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate the offer and ability to come.
I was hoping to just right off the bat get into maybe just a little bit of the history or the story of WillCountyFair. How did we get to the event that it is today?
Sure. It's quite a story. We have to go back in time to look about 1903. Remember, that's horse and buggies. People didn't want to travel that far. Look how long it would take to load up your kids and in a horse or buggy or whatever. So there was at that time 3 fairs, one in Joliet, one in Moni, and then one in Peotone. So in 1920, our fair moved to its current location and acquired the grounds, which was a horse racing facility. Because horse racing back then was big. That was almost like, well, there's no cars hardly, so that was car racing. And there were some just unbelievably beautiful old buildings there and a wonderful old wood grandstand, and they took over the fairgrounds. So the first fair at the current location was 1920.
Could you tell me a little bit about the sort of events that you guys are hosting now, or the type of activities that you have that you think are most exciting for people to kind of enjoy, or just kind of what are the big swings that WillCountyFair has?
Well, that's a big subject actually.
Sure.
I thought about this before I came here. We offer so much for such a variety of people in all ages. And you have to look back a little bit that a long time ago, just 30 years ago, most people had some connection to a farm. Now almost nobody has a connection to a farm. So our livestock and agricultural foundation is very important to us. We get really a large number of people coming from up north and in Chicago, and to see the animals and just see the past and what animals are like. Our exhibitors are really good about talking to people about their animals and showing them that. We have a lot of farm machinery there. Then there's a bunch of outside vendors, food vendors. We've got a really nice picnic area that's shaded, so it's nice. The building I talked to, our iconic fine arts building, there's everything there from pictures to sewing to bakery. There's a mountain of stuff, just about something in there for everybody. One of our biggest attraction is Lure's Ideal Rides. They've been with us since 1967, and they're one of the premier carnival ride companies in the Midwest, really. And they are a very safe, clean carnival. When you see them, you'll feel pretty comfortable with your kids riding them. Then we go into our atrium buildings. There are 2 very large buildings connected that have vendors. There's an air-conditioned restaurant there, and the whole building is air-conditioned. So on a hot day, you can go and visit all the stuff outside, and then go in and into the air condition, cool off, have something to eat, look at all the different vendors. The fudge people have been there since way before I was a little kid, so I'm 68, so how long have they been there? A long time. They're very, very popular. And then our grandstand is one of the biggest attractions also, that every night there's something going on.
Sure.
I guess got to get that started. Probably one of the most enjoyable things, Wednesday, we have Dollar Day, and which means adults is $1 admission, and rides after 4:30 are $1, which is quite a thing for young families to be able to go to somewhere and for a few dollars have kids ride till they're dizzy. That's a good thing. The other thing that is really neat, on that day we have the ping pong ball drop. My son and I designed these air cannons, and the kids are divided up into 3 age groups, and we shoot off ping pong balls with paper in the air, and they go 60, 70 feet in the air, and they fall in this designated area, and they have little markers on them, and that each group of kids goes in, they get their ping pong balls, we clean it up, and we keep doing that. Well, those ping pong balls, they usually get about 5 of them, and they're all different prizes. So they get a whole mountain of back-to-school supplies to toys, and that's free.
Awesome.
And there's about a dozen bikes are given away. It's a very family-oriented, least cost night. There's usually about 340 kids. So when you see that wave of kids going out there, it's fun.
Of course.
And so we've been doing this, oh boy, a long time. It gets kind of a rush every time you see the ping pong balls go whoop, way up in the air, and then they come down and the kids are like, whoa, and then they're flying out there. So that's fun. So the Wednesday night's a great night for young families. For very little money, they can have a great night. The kids can see the animals, get some toys for free, ride for $1. It's about the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Now, I know you're talking about Wednesday. On Thursday, I believe you guys have the tractor pull event,
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
That has been there also for forever. We have the ITPA, which is the Illinois Tractor Pulling Association. We have 3 diesel classes. Everybody likes big smoke and a whole lot of speed. And then we have 1 modified class, which there'll be Allison, the big World War II airplane engines that run on alcohol that are like 12 cylinders long. They're like 4 or 5 foot long. To helicopter motors, to some of them having multiple big car engines and superchargers on them. They're pretty unique machines. And the helicopter tractors that are in this class, just the whine of that turbine spinning up,
Sure.
and then all of a sudden, it's like a rocket. And yeah, it's good. It's fun. I enjoy it. Even though my responsibilities as president keep me pretty busy, I always sneak off for that one.
Sure.
That's one of my favorites till I get caught and got to go back to work.
And are they being judged on how much they can pull, or is it...
So each class has
Sure.
a weight that they start off with,
Sure.
and it's how far they can pull it. So speed is everything, and because the faster you go, when the sled finally puts all the weight down, and there's actually little teeth that start to dig in, your speed is incredibly important to make you go farther.
Got it. And then Friday and Saturday night, those are
The demo, which
Yeah.
is really, I don't even know how to explain it. The enthusiasm for the demo derby is big. And we've started to sell tickets pre-sale for that because the line can get way, way, way too long. So if somebody's interested in the demo, please look at pre-sale or make sure you're there a couple hours early. But we have some interesting new classes for the Friday night demo that they can look up on our website. but they are younger kids that are not able to drive yet with a learner's permit, but they have to have an 18-year-old or a parent guardian in the car with them, which is, I don't even know how to describe that one. And some other unique classes for in there. And then Saturday night is the bigger, more professional, hard-hitting, welded-up cars. So the 2 nights really are in high demand, and they're really great entertainment.
Yeah. Yes, that I can attest to as well, for sure. I also would be remiss if I didn't mention the beer garden, which I assume of course is on open Friday and Saturday nights. But is it open Wednesday?
It starts Wednesday. It opens every day. It opens at either noon or 2:00, and the beer garden goes till around midnight. And every night there's a band. And it's a staple. When I was old enough to go to the beer garden, that's where everybody saw everybody and enjoyed a night with cold beer and music and friends and talk. It was fun.
I wanted to go back just briefly to the animals, because I do think that is such a draw for people.
Yes.
It's not just that they can go and see the animals. They're also the animals that are brought and presented there are also being judged as well. Correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the animals that are brought there are being judged on their conformation stature, how meaty they are, I guess is the right way to say it. And so they're being judged, and that's always an interesting thing to watch, because these kids have worked so hard. So almost all the animals are owned already by probably February or late February, early March. So they're starting to work on these animals right away, to calm them, make them be able to, teach them to lead. And it's a very interesting thing, because we showed sheep. I had a lot of sheep for a lot of years, and my kids showed from 8 years old till college. And you got to start when they're little, but it's a very family oriented thing. If a person doesn't look at the animals and you look at the people doing it, you're going to see kids, small children, 2 teenagers working with their families. And if you want to be something kind of reminiscent, or as a person whose kids are grown older, to watch them, a family units working together on a project. You just don't get to see that a lot.
Sure.
There's a big horse arena, and they are able to turn those horses out and exercise. And sometimes there'll be young horses out there. And those horses will kick up and go like crazy. And if there's like some of the little fillies or foals are out there, it is just fun, because they're bouncing around, going crazy, and their mane and tail is a-flying.
Sure.
And it just brings the giggles out in you to watch them.
Sure.
And you'll see a lot around the horse arena. There's a lot of people watching just the horses exercise and have fun.
Yeah. Is the horse arena also where the rodeo takes place?
No.
Okay.
That rodeo would be in front of the grandstand.
Got it.
So all our livestock buildings are pretty well in a row towards the west gate when you come into the west side, towards the 57 side. And there's an arena between, it's a big steel arena. It's the farthest north building.
Sure. What to you makes WillCountyFair specifically so special?
Well, that's a very good question.
Is it the food vendors, the music?
It's everything. I mean, when I look at it, you have to realize that really we start planning October-ish, because September we're done with the fair. We don't want to think about it, and then we start planning already in October, and really, when you watch people, we have something for literally everybody. I said that earlier, but we have people come from Chicago. You look at the zip codes from where people come from, there's you see people enjoying all parts of the fair. And I get asked why I spend so many hours, which is a lot, being president of the fair. And you see people enjoying themselves from all the different foods that we have there. I mean, some places just let any vendor in. We don't let any vendors sell the same things. So there's a great variety of foods there for people to enjoy. We've got a nice picnic area under trees. To the rides, they're highly attended because people feel safe in our fair. And it's just kind of the whole package from kids, they get to come and see. I mean, when our kids, before we showed a lot and go into other ones, we'd go from the livestock and cruise through the food vendors, and then they'd ride rides. I mean, it's kind of a whole package of enjoyment.
Yeah. Do you guys have any upcoming planned initiatives or any exciting future developments for Will County Fair coming up?
Yes. Well, yes, we've added a couple more outside events. We haven't even talked about what happens at the fair outside of the fair. But during the fair, we're always looking to maximize a person's experience here. There's free entertainment. We have a free entertainment tent. There is a petting zoo. Young Farmers has a tent that is a petting zoo and ag education. We're always looking to give people something that they don't have to pay for.
Sure.
Because everything in life costs money, and we want to make their time here more felt like they're getting their dollar's worth.
Yeah. And it's not just the Will County Fair that you guys can host over there at the fairgrounds. I know in the past you guys have had stuff like Ham Fest or the Tri-City Chevy Show. Could you just talk a little bit about just the event space that the fairgrounds are and the availability that people can use those with?
Well, we have two buildings that are 60 by 160. Air conditioned. They're nice buildings, a bar in between, and those are rented out quite a bit. We're always open to see, availability. The rest of the grounds, we really don't rent out the grandstand. We just don't want the liability of people up there. But the rest of the grounds is rented out for different shows, car events. There's a lot of, I guess, kind of unique shows that come there. One's called Check the Oil. It's all like gas station sign memorabilia. So if you were in the 60s and 70s and went into an old school gas station, everything you see in there is for sale. And they have auctions and stuff there. It's just stunning, the stuff they have. So yeah, the grounds, we have what is our beer pavilion or building outside that we have the beer garden in. That's going to be concreted. So we're hoping to rent that out for some events like family reunions, parties, or whatever that want outside picnic areas. But otherwise, really, we rent out just about everything. That's part of it. Last year, we had 30-some public events there, and about another 20 plus that were private events, parties, quite a few weddings, things like that.
Sure. If somebody wants to partner with you guys, whether it's for the fair as an exhibitor or vendor, or just looking into using the fairgrounds, where should we direct them? Where should we send them?
Well, the best would be to call the Will County Fairgrounds office. I don't know the number offhand. Kaja is there Monday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. Once we get closer to the fair, she's there much more often. But that's the best place to start. We're always looking to partner. We have had quite a few inquiries for concerts and other things outside. Unfortunately, they've not quite met our criteria that would work for our facility, but we're always looking to have new car shows and everything we can at the grounds.
Sure. The last question I always like to ask is, what do you feel like makes the Chicago Southland such a special place for people to visit?
Well, growing up here, I like it because the diversity of the Chicago Southland. You can drive from all the different towns, all the different varieties of restaurants, theaters, things to do. It's an endless opportunities to see things. And we've got from the racetrack and Route 66 to county fairs to a whole bunch of festivals that go on. A gazillion restaurants. There's a lot. Baseball fields. There's lots going on here.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Thank you very much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. And please check out the Will County Fair. It's a fantastic event. It's a pleasure to.
We'll see you there.
Yep. See you.